Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Twisted Paper Studio. How are you? I hope you're all doing well. Today I'm going to go over a few things about journals. The first thing that I'm going to go over that you must remember, there are no rules. There are none. There are no rules to junk journaling. You can do whatever your little heart desires to your book, in any shape or form, in any way, journaling, in any sort of way that what you want to do. Of course, there are some things that you have to adhere to as far as, if you have a junk journal and you want a watercolor in it, it might not take on the papers so well, so you have to remember that. And if you're going to have a junk journal and you just want to rip it all apart and you don't even care for the base, I mean, you bought it, you could do what you want. It would be sad, but I mean, I would be careful with exactly what you're doing as far as taking the structure of it down. But however, in journaling in a junk journal, there are no rules. So I had some questions in reference to, and now this goes out. Let me just give my beautiful blessings. Beautiful blessings to Quilted Nest Vintage 6347. Beautiful blessings to Artsology. And beautiful blessings to Marjorie Wright 5808. Beautiful blessings to you ladies. Thank you so much for watching my channel and commenting and supporting me. I'm going to put on my timer, and then we're going to get to work. Oh, that's not my timer. Where's my timer? Timer, and start. Okay, so my timer is on. My volume is off. We're going to get going here. I'm going to give you some ideas. Ideas to journaling. Now, this is a soft cover journal. Okay, and it has lots of flip outs. It has journal cards. It has pages inside. It has more cards that they're clipped here, but then there's pages that flip up. This is common to be seen when you purchase a junk journal from a maker. There's tucks. You can tuck things in there. This is a common junk journal. All right, now you ordered this, you purchased it. What do you do with it? You don't want to ruin it. It's beautiful, isn't it? Well, I'm not going to journal in here, but I am going to give you some ideas. So let's just say you had a grocery list. And this is a list. This is a list that I used over and over again. And look, it was on an old copy paper. All right, if you wanted to, in one of your pockets in here, if you were up to that day or however it worked, and you wanted to stick it in here along with all this pretty stuff, I'm looking for the pocket that I had, you could. And then, of course, if you have a bookmark, you can bookmark your spot to know where you're up to every day so that this doesn't happen. But let's just say this is your grocery list. You wanted to write on here about your groceries. You could. You went shopping with your sister, your brother, you had the greatest time ever, and you could either tuck this right in here like this, just like so. You can paper clip it in there. You can tuck it in the pocket over here so that it stays with the rest of your stuff. I don't know what's going on here. You can tuck it in the pocket there, and then you can go back to journaling again another day. You can use a tag that the maker sent you as your bookmark for where you are the next day. So if you want to just jot something down here, you can. Okay? So let me move on, because I don't want to spend all this time on this book. This was, I was just going over a soft cover book. If you purchased a soft cover book from a seller. Now, or you made it yourself. You could make it yourself too. Okay, so now let's move on. This is a hardcover book. Let's say you purchase a hardcover book. It's going to be the same way. It's going to be the same exact way. there's all these places in here that you could journal. And you might not see it. I'm going to give you some pointers in a minute. It's not going to be in this book, but I'm just showing you. Every single page is an opportunity to journal in this book. Even here, if I opened up this maker, I'm the maker, but if I open this up, look at that. It's all blank on the back. I could write a whole secret, a whole thought, a whole feeling, a whole day, a whole intervention with myself in here. And only I know it's in there because, of course, a journal is just like a diary. It's our place where we write things. Now, we may have a personal journal. We may have a journal that we write in for a keepsake for our family, what our favorite colors are, what our favorite foods are, what our favorite things to do are, where we went on vacation. But if this is a personal journal, no one's even going to know that's in here. You fold it right back up. You fold it up. You can even make a notation to yourself on the outside. You know, I love myself, or I'm doing good today. And then you just stick it right back in there. No one's going to know nothing. This is your personal journal. This is yours to do with whatever you want. Whatever you want. Anything that's in here, you can journal on. Usually, sometimes, well, I don't have one in this book. I wonder if I have one in this book. I think I do. I think so. Oh, no, it's not in here. Okay. I have a writing board that I usually put with the journal, and I don't see it. It's got to be in the box that I took it out of. These are put away in boxes so they don't get ruined for right now. I'm not ready to sell them. I'm hanging on to them. I don't know why. I love them. Okay. So now, what was I saying? Okay, so you can kind of do anything you want to your journal, how you're going to journal with it. Now, this is a long, tall, skinny journal. And look, I made this in the front here. It's a tag. It has a pocket. I think the thing fell out. Is there a pocket? No, that's a different journal. Okay, there's no pocket. Disregard that. But there's journaling on the back of here, right? And then you can open it up. Now, whoops. This is a little booklet in here. I'm going to get to these kinds of things in a moment, but there's so many opportunities in here to journal. There's places everywhere that you can find to journal. Anywhere. And then you don't have to leave the things, okay, in the places that they're in. Who said? There's no rules. You know what? You're only up to page, 3 in your journal, and you see this postcard, it caught your eye. It doesn't have to stay here. Move it. Move it over here. Write your day. Write your thoughts. Write how you feel. Paper clip it in. Put it in there. And guess what? Now it's yours. This is your journal to do with what you want. I promise you. You can do whatever you want. It's not going to hurt. And then here, I took that postcard from here. Maybe I didn't want the clip up there, but let's just say I wanted to put journal here. But I didn't want to ruin this paper. I mean, it's gorgeous, right? You don't want to ruin it. So what? I'm going to journal. Say, hello. How are you today? And guess what? You can doodle on it. I mean, you can doodle anything you want. Say you are loved. And then you can turn it sideways, put the date. What's today's date? The 7th, 2023. You can turn it over and write on the back. Okay, so now we did that. We have our own piece of paper. You can use Post-it notes. Anything you have in your office, you can use in your journal. And then you can just, look, you can close it right up and you can stick it right in because there's already a clip there. Of course, you can get your own clips too. You don't have to use these. If you don't like this big bulky clip that came with your book and you don't want it in there, change it out. Take a paper clip, put it in there. Staple it in there. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to ruin this journal because it's still for sale. But you can do that. Don't be scared. Let me take this out of here and while I move on to the next thing. Hold on. And put this back the way it was. And, okay, I'll do that after, when we turn off the camera. So now, let's get to some of the things that I would personally use in my journal, okay? And we're going to use these two examples, because I believe I had another question, and I'm so sorry, from someone else. I had another question in reference to journaling in the trifold. I'm going to use this today. I made this, might as well use it. I don't know what I'm going to do with it right now, so I'll use it for demonstration purposes, for myself. So this is a trifold, but let's just say, you know, you have a journal, you order a trifold because you love it, it's beautiful. You don't have to keep it this way. You could, but you don't have to. I'm going to open this up, and I'm going to show you that there's lots of paper in here that the artist is giving you, the person making the journal, because they thought it was beautiful, and I'm sure you think it's beautiful too if you've purchased it, for you to write. Now, you could leave this the way it is. Certainly you can. You can also pull a page out. You can undo the hinges and turn the page over. You can turn everything over. Oh, let's do that. Let's just do it. And I'll just ruin one page and I'll replace it. How's that? You can take everything out of here and turn it over. If you turn it over, guess what? Guess what happens when you turn it over? You have writing spots. And you'll have writing spots throughout the whole book if you turn everything over. So then you can go in and write your notes. Maybe you just want to use this for a weekend because there's just a few pages in it. It's only a document journal. It's not a complete journal. Maybe you just want to use this for, I don't know, if you have, you know, your craft channel, if you have sales, if you have your kids play baseball and it's just their baseball schedule, little things that you want to put in for that time frame. It doesn't matter what it looks like, it's yours. So it doesn't have to be a baseball theme. It could be a pretty theme. If you have a club that you belong to, if you go shopping for vintage or antiques and you find something somewhere and you want to put down the place, you can do whatever you want. There's no rhyme or reason. Now, I get it a lot. What if you don't want to mess these things up? If you just don't want to. If you don't want to mess them up at all, you don't have to either. You could keep this as beautiful as it is, as pretty as it looks, in just the way it is right now. And you can still journal in here. And I'll show you what I mean in a minute. I'm just going to close this back up. Now, it did, excuse me, I still have my cough and my little cold, I'm sorry. It did come with these little things, right? So let's use them. We can write on them, or we can go back to writing on this little piece of paper. Now, if I wanted to, I can glue this down. Oops. I can glue this down right in this journal, right here. I can glue it right in this spot, and that's my note. That's my journal. I can come back and do that 45 times and glue more things in there. Just keep gluing and pasting because it's mine. And it could be, yeah, we went to baseball today. We went to baseball last week. We went to baseball the month before. So-and-so did this and this. He scored this many points on this day. This one scored this many pence on this day. And then, look, you could just paperclip it in. And this is only the first page. There are other pages in here. You can do the same thing. It's on decorative paper. if you don't think of it as all this writing everywhere else, and you think of it as a notebook that just has, you know, some decorative pages in it, and you're gonna cover that up with your own stuff, I think that might make it easier. I know it makes it easier for me. Maybe it would make it easier for you too. So that's the document journal. There's so many places that you can, you know, and then look, listen, I brought some things over here to show you too. So I have this. I kept this. It came from a bottle of gin. I think it was elderberry gin. I had it at a wedding, and I thought it was delicious. Oh, I got a Jezebel bug flying around. I'm sorry. I thought it was delicious, but guess what? I like this little thing, so, and I saved it. So, you know what? You could put it right here. You could put, if you have something, you could just put it right here in your book and save it. You could save your things too. I mean, I'm not doing a great job, but you get the gist. I could put it underneath here, and that would be better. Okay? I have pictures here. This is my grandmother and me. My grandmother has passed. I have a picture of my mom. My mom passed when she was 28. It's the last picture I have of her. I have 20,000 copies of it. I use it everywhere. I can glue this right into my book and write about my mom. I could write on the picture because it's just a photo. It's just a print. You can do that too. You can print your papers out and put them in your journal wherever you want. There's no rhyme or reason or rule. None. You can do what you want. I'm just giving you some ideas. Now, we all know that my son has concerts, right? So I have tickets here to his concert. This is last year on July 22nd. I could take these concert tickets, staple them. Now, I don't want to ruin them right now because I'm going to put them in my book. But I could put them right here, staple them in, okay? And you see, now you would think there's no room for me to journal. But guess what? You just got to take your paper, and you can use whatever paper you want. You guys, I'm sure you like your journals, so you bought your journal. I'm sure you've bought a digital or two. And even if you don't make journals, if you don't make them and you just journal in them, I'm sure you have some paper, you have some washi tape, maybe not a lot, but you have some, one or two. You have some coloring things. You have maybe ink pens. You have some brads. Your husband has in his office, staples and brads and paper clips, some black pens, and some crayons. These are gel colors, but you could use crayons too. You don't need fancy things. You can buy this stuff when it's on sale too. And you know what? A lot of times I buy stuff that are kids brands. They have the best stuff. Kids brands are very vibrant colors because kids like vibrant colors, and that's the color they are. You can buy kids stuff. You don't have to buy the fancy, expensive stuff. But let's say I wanted to journal in here about Louie's concert. I went with my kids, John and Vinny. They're all there, and I want to talk about the good time I had. Well, I'm going to write that all down on here. I mean, and I can even write it. Look, let's just say it took the whole page up. I could write it down and then fold it in half and then either paper clip it in, or I could glue it down and just write up here and right here. You guys, you could do so much. You don't have to be scared. Now, this is newspaper. This is graph paper. You can use that in here. You can buy digitals and you can use that in there. Or you can get your papers and you may have the fun of tea dyeing and coffee staining them and use them in your journal. You can rip this right up. This is coffee stained now. And I could write here my notes on here. Maybe I want to write it on the whole paper. Maybe you're just a writer where you just want to write a quick little note or a quick thought about the day, or you like quotes. If you like quotes, you could write your quote down on here, okay? Rip it up and then glue it right down here. You don't have to cover the tree. You can come up here more and put it in there. If you didn't want to cover anything up at all and you were picky about, you know, wanting to preserve the whole page, pick a different page. You don't have to keep the first page as your journal. Who says you have to start at page 1? No one. Go back to the last page and put it up here, and put your note in here and clip it on. You can glue that on. You could do whatever you want. Whatever. Okay, now those are some of the things that I wanted to go over in the journal. All right, so now let's go over some of the things that come in a journal. They come full in a journal. Let's see. Here I had like a $2 bill. My son Vinny gave this to me. No one's going to spend this, and it's like everyone saves them. So you could staple it in here. Doesn't matter. I mean, that's ruining money, so maybe you shouldn't staple it in there, where you could probably get in trouble from the federal government for ruining your money. So scratch that all, what I just said, and just paper clip it in here. And then you could write a sticky note on there to who gave it to you, and it was lucky. You can even do scratch-off tickets. My son bought me the scratch-off ticket. It wasn't a winner, but you can put in here that you had a fun day with your son at the store, or your daughter, or your best friend, or your husband, and you got, you know, this was a fun time. You went out for ice cream, and you got a scratch-off ticket. I mean, I'm just giving you guys ideas. You can even put, this is the numbers we always play. Mom and Dad always play these numbers, or Grandma always played these numbers, and staple it in there. Maybe it's not a new one, maybe it's an old one, but these were her numbers. These were the things that are going to carry on. You know, if you're not here anymore one day, someone in your family is going to take a look and just smile. They're going to smile. Wow, these are memories. Maybe they weren't there that day and they didn't know. These are memories. That's what they are. They're memories. Now, if it's a private book, of course it's private, but if it's a journal, you're going to collect all these memories and put them in there. Nice ones, good ones. And doodles. They're going to look at it and say, wow, Grandma, she was good at doodling. Or, oh, Grandma had beautiful handwriting. You know, with the texting that we have today, who's going to know anybody's handwriting at all? All this electronic media. No checks being signed. Why? Because we used our debit card. And no, you know, no letters being written in the snail mail. Why? Because we can send an email or a text. It's just crazy. So if you have a journal, write in it. Show your kids. Leave it for them or your family. Okay, now let's get to these. Twisted. I have some of the things that I make. Let me see. I got a tag. I have a tab. That's what I was doing. I lost my train of concentration. Sorry. I'm getting excited. That and that. Okay. So, we have our book. Our book came filled with these things. Right? Let's just say they're sporadically all over here. Now, when you get your book, if you're a journaler and you know you're going to journal in your book, you could take everything out. Take everything out of the book where the artist put it, everything, and then maybe hold it on your desk in a spot. And every day, if you're going to journal, take a journal card. This was in the book, okay? You don't have to leave this. You can pick your favorite side, and you could just take a piece of paper, glue it on the back, and then write. You can do that. That's number one. Here was the same. This has the journaling spot. So you can just, you can just, 2/7/2023, I made history. You never know, this video could go viral. Okay, and then you can, you know, sign your name because you're so proud of yourself, or you can do whatever you want to. And then put it back into your book in a spot. That's journal. That's a journal tag. Now, look, you can doodle. You can doodle on this tag. No one says you can't. You can do whatever you want anywhere in your journal. Anywhere. Anywhere you want. You can doodle. You can write. You can doodle. You can play games. You can play tic-tac-toe with yourself if you wanted to. Okay, so here. This is another journal card. You can journal on the front. You can glue this on the back, right? This was a little tag, but guess what? So you watch the videos, you see what the artists do, and if you take your glue, I filled up my glue, you guys, put a blank piece of paper on the back here, you can journal right there and put it in. But let's just say you got some of these little pieces in your kit, in your book. And maybe right here, you know, you wanted a place to keep this. Hey, don't be afraid to make a tuck. You see us do it. Put that down. Excuse me. You can even put this down. Make a tuck. Just put some glue along the side or a piece of double-sided tape and put it right there, and then make yourself a tuck to put your things, to put your own things in here. You can do that too. You can change it around. All right. Now, moving along to these. I made these little twisted paper pleasers and these little fabric cluster things that are just the cutest thing ever. So, if they come in your journal from me or from any other artist, these are the things that can be done with them. So this is a little paper cluster. This was a cute little thing that was on my desk that I just put together because the papers are so pretty. But that's the reason why I did it, because the papers are pretty. So if today was my Valentine's and my honey brought me out to dinner, you can do whatever you want to make this your journal spot for the day. Let's just say I took my coffee dyed paper and I wrote all about my story. The whole thing. I went out for a beautiful dinner. I had lobster. I had steak. I had wine. Oh, I was in love and in heaven. So I wrote that all down. But now I have all these little things from my artist who I bought the book from. They gave me them. Okay, so you wrote down that you went to dinner and it was romantic. Blah, blah, blah. Well, take these pieces and glue them down in the book. Glue them. They're little pieces that your artist who made the journal gave you so that you can also decorate and collage in your book, because you may not have the same things as they do. And it's just a sweet gesture. These little, that's what they are. They're sweet gestures to give back to you so that you can also do the things that they're doing. So here, this is a paper cluster. This is that paper pleaser. But I like this. I like this little piece because I don't have anything like it. So maybe I want to put it here as a page tab, or maybe I want to make a pocket right here to put stuff in, you know, the receipt from our night or whatever. Maybe I want to make this a tag that I just wrote on, and I like this topper, so I'm going to put it on there. You can do whatever you want to now, I think I glued these in. So here, I'm going to show you when I only glued them up at the top. You can rip them off. You can rip them off like paper. I forget how I did this. Okay, so the glue comes off a little bit easy. It's not so hard to get off. You don't want to force it, but look, I have this piece now. I could put this anywhere in here, anywhere in the journal that I want. I can go back here, and let's just say I wanted to add some blue back here. Well, I don't need to use the whole piece. I could save it for another page. I could just take some off of it. So I took some off. So I'm gonna glue it down here because I'm gonna write what this is. This is February. I could write February right there, and then I could put more stuff in this pocket. You can do whatever you want. And now, if there are pages in here, and I think that the only real thing, so there's journaling spot back there. This is a book page. There's a journaling spot here, and there's a journaling spot here. You can leave this half assembled and go ahead and journal back here. You can make a pocket back here because, see, I didn't, and that's okay. I didn't have to. You can, because that's what you want. So you can go ahead and just put a little thing back here and make yourself a little pocket and tuck notes in there. You can make a pocket on the back if you want to. Don't be afraid to go ahead and change the design. It's okay. It's after you've bought it, it's yours to change how you want. As an artist, I can only say that I'm here to make something to guide you who doesn't have the skill set that I have, or might not have the full skill set that I have, and I'm helping guide you in your artist direction of journaling or making a book and doing something to it that you might have an idea for my channel to want to do in your book. That's what I'm here to do. And also to help you and guide you along in writing or not writing, I'm sorry, moving things or making things to put in your book. Not moving things. I'm making things to put in your book. When I make the tags with you, you make them and you put them in your book. This comes in the journal that you bought, or you want to make this for yourself. Well, you don't have to set this up the way I did. You don't have to. If you're making these and you have a journal and you just want to decorate it and make it look pretty, you could take this just like this, look, and rip it and put it in your journal. You could rip it 1,000 times. You could just put it up here and be like, I made these today with Twisted Paper Studio. You can turn around and decorate this on the back side, or you could staple this up here with your writing on it. That could be on that side. You could staple it right in your journal of what the day was. Let's just say it was 4th of July. Here's your red, white, and blue that you have. You could take, this is a piece of ledger paper. Pick your favorite side, keep that side, and glue a piece of paper on top so that you could write on it. And you can stick that in there too. You can stick it in there. All right. So I think, and I hope, I'm pretty sure that I tried to answer most of your questions about concepts of art, of using your journal in a way to write in it. You can pretty much do whatever you want. Now, if you have artist paper, you can use artist's paper. I have newspaper print in front of me and coffee dyed paper and some blue graph paper. I don't know where it went. But also, let's just say you get these things from your, from your journal. You can write on here too. I believe I'm looking for my, that's not it. Well, here's a chisel tip pen. These pens are in Walmart. You can get them in Walmart. I've seen them there. I got them in Michael's, I believe, or Michael's or Hobby Lobby with my coupon. But they're artist pens, and they are Prismacolor. They're pretty good pens, but they're thick, and you can write right on here whatever you want. And it goes right over the ink that's already on there. Your message shines through. You can do that. You could also take colored pens. Let's say you get these, what are they called? The stencil paste. You get the stencil in your book. Well, what if you're doing a Christmas page? Okay, so you're doing a Christmas page and you want to make this so it's Christmassy. Look, where's that stuff? Let's say I saved a piece. Oh, here's a good example. You guys were with me well, you saw my video. My son bought this wrapping paper for me. Well, I can take a tiny little piece of the wrapping paper and put it on my page and say, I can put it down there and say that he bought me that wrapping paper. He thought of me when he saw it, so he bought it for me. That's a cute memory from my Christmas. And then if I have a book that had these twisted tangles in it, right? So I'm going to take red and I'm going to take green. You can use color crayons too, it will work. And this is that stencil paste. You can just put some color down on your page. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to stay plain. You can do whatever you want. There you go. I put some red and green down. And I could staple this right here. I could put it on here. I can glue it. Now, I'm not paying attention and making this perfect, so I'm just kind of doing this for an example to show you what you can do. You can put it down at the bottom. You can make a tab topper out of it for yourself to make this a tag, and then you can make this a pocket and put it in your page. But this was a twisted paper pleaser, and look, there's more left in here. You can take this file folder off if you wanted to. If you didn't have file folder and you wanted to take this apart, you can go ahead. That's why it's all here. It's here for you to use these pieces within your book. You can take this piece and collage in the front. You know, you can take this right off. I glued it all on there, but that's all right. We can rip it a little bit because it's still going to give you the same effect, and you can put this right on your page here and make it a pocket, make it a tuck. You can glue it down because you like it and you wanted it there, and then you can put your journaling. You can put your journaling right down here. You still have all the same prettiness on the page. You can just journal now. So those are some ideas. You can also do art in your books. So if you have ink, I don't know what I'm going to do. If you have some ink, you can go like this, and you can, is it gonna work? Yeah, you can write a heart. Whoopsie, that was ink. Maybe we won't write a heart. Maybe we'll just write an O. But look, it'll dry fast. These are ink pens. Oh, maybe we will do the heart. We'll do it this way. Let's see if I could get it. Yay! There we go. Now we wrote a big heart, but it's on music sheets, and you can see it. You can see the music sheet through. And this is ink pens. These are Jane Davenport ink pens. I don't know if she still sells them. I was on a Jane Davenport kick for a long time during my mixed media days. So this is ink. It will dry. It'll be, it's not opaque. You can see through it. So, or it is opaque. I don't remember the words. I can't remember right now. But you can do whatever you want to. And then once this dries, you could stick it in your book. Or you can pull this off. I don't want to get ink all over me because it'll stain. Where's my hand gel? Oh man, oh man. I don't know what I did with it. I'm gonna have red there for a while until I find my hand gel. I don't know what I did with it. Okay, so once it dries, you can take it off and glue it in your book. That's your twisted paper pleaser. And then you don't have to glue it either. You don't have to. You can take your office supplies and you can staple it in. You can get the Tim Holtz and use this small stapler. You can glue stick it in. You can paper clip it in. You can pin it in. You can use these fasteners and fasten it in. You can get the grommet tool and put a grommet in and then tie it in with a paper, with a safety pin on it. You can use your imagination to pretty much do whatever your little heart desires with your book. You can, I promise you. You can take this ribbon, this fabric, you see it was stapled on here. But if you wanted to, you can just pin everything up here that you were writing. You can pin it right on your page and use the pin. Use the fastener, use the grommet, use some string, use some ribbon. You can do whatever your little heart desires, I promise you. Okay, I think that's basically it in a nutshell. I think I covered things for you. Do not be afraid to use, remove, switch around anything in your journal that you've purchased. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to decoupage over the artist's work. They're not going to care. You bought it because you liked their art and you're adding to it, and it's what they want you to do. I want someone to cover up these children because they like a giraffe picture that their child drew for them. You can put that right in there. Be my guest. I'd be so happy. It doesn't have to stay that way. Half the time when I'm making something, I just quickly go with the flow of my brain and my idea at the moment. And I'm not attached to it. I don't have to keep it that way. You're not insulting anyone because you have to change it. It's your book now to do what you want. I promise you. If you think that way and you start to use your brain that way to use these journals and write in these journals, you will write anywhere. Have you ever seen anyone's, let me see if I have one here. They might be in storage. Hold on. I don't know. I might have something. Okay, we're gonna go way back. This is so many years ago. Oh, I hope that doesn't sting. Okay, it's still, let that cool. This is one of my old journals. But I used to write around in a circle. I used to put tags in pockets. I used to write here. This was a tag. We went to go see The Simpsons. I used to write here. Look, we went to Carrabba's Italian Grill. I took their business card and put it on there. I used to put little stamps of postage in there. Here I glued a few pieces of paper together so I maybe didn't like one. I took some magazines and wrote some words in there. You guys can do whatever you want. You can also look, my son put that in there for me. In 2007, he said, I put in there Vincent's journal entry, 2007. Wow, he was little, my little baby. Okay. You can even take your punches and put punches in the pages. You guys can do that. It's pretty cool. This was just something I was trying out. I have a lot of writing in here and a lot of personal things in here, but it was something that I was doing way back then. And that's what I mean about journaling. Don't be afraid. You can put anything down. Anything can stay. Anything goes. It's all good. You can do whatever you want. So, remember, make yourself some tea-dyed papers. Get yourself some newspaper print. Get yourself some graph paper. And take the items that come in your journal and take them apart to benefit you. Tear them up so you can use a little bit on each page. Make your own little collage on a page. It doesn't have to be what the artist did. Take your pictures and your moments and your memories and staple them in the places in the book. Get yourself black marker pens or color pens. And you know what else too? I didn't go over that. You can use washi tape to attach your stuff. You can get some washi tape. It's not very expensive. If you are in Michael's and you're standing in line and you want to put down your tag that you just put down, you could just go ahead and put it right on the side, just like that, half in the book, half not, and it becomes a little flip. Look at that, right on your page. Exactly how it looks. It's so easy. it becomes a flip. It becomes a little spot. So get yourself some washi tape. Go to Staples and get yourself some paper clips if you don't have any at home, some fasteners, some staples. Go to the children's section at the dollar store and get yourself some colors, some watercolors, some inks, some crayons. Get yourself a little bottle of glue, a glue stick. If you don't have that stuff at home readily available, you will be able to journal in anything that you touch, in any journal that you put your hands on. Even if you didn't have one of these journals, even if you didn't have it, and you went and you bought yourself a lined book, one of these lined books, okay? And you got yourself some papers, and you got yourself, and you were an artist and you liked making up all this stuff, or you got yourself some digitals, you could just open up your journal and start anywhere and take these pieces and glue them in the spots and put them here and staple them in and write about it in your journal and go to the next day. You don't have to have a, they are beautiful. I'm not gonna lie. They're gorgeous. But you don't have to have a fancy handmade journal. You can journal in anything. You can journal in a crayon book, in a coloring book, here, I think I was doing this. I have one of these little books here. I was journaling in this. See, I send blessings to all of you in one of my books. But here, I was getting ready for my show. If I have one of these little things that I made, I could take it out of here. I could take this out of here and go and put it in my journal and talk about the day that I prepped for the show and all the things that I did and put that down, because it's notes. It's notes that I had. I just compiled some notes and some things. All right, I need a drink of water. I've been talking a mile a minute. Now, if you guys have any questions, hold on, sorry. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask me. But I'm just going to tell you one more time that you only have to remember a few things. And the first thing that you have to remember, the very first thing that you must remember, it's like a necessity. You have to remember it. There are no rules. There's none. No rules. You do what you want to in your journal. It's your journal to do with whatever you want. To write in it, to paint in it. Now, I did tell you, I reminded you, right? Paint. You might want to use, if you're going to use paint, just use dry paint, like maybe an acrylic, but do it lightly, because if you don't have mixed media paper in your book, it'll seep through, because the papers are, just copy papers. But you get the gist. You know what I'm talking about. And you know what too? You can even take your mixed media paper and paint on it and then attach that paper after. You could do that. I'm trying to see I don't want to make too much of a mess, because I got to put some of these things back the way they were and finish them up. And I don't want to sell anything with my stuff in there. Okay. So, again, if you guys have any questions or you need my help with anything, feel free to ask me. I'll try to answer whatever I can. I'm self-taught. I have been doing this for a very long time. Although I'm very, very intuitive and I learn very quickly. I have read many, 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 many books for many, in the first years that I started this, I was consumed and could not get enough of learning. I have been doing this for a very, very long time. Creating and journaling. I'm not so much an art journaler anymore, more for my words. I don't have time because I'm busy with my channels and all my social media outlets and things like that. I should make more time to do my art journals because I miss drawing so much. And that's another thing. If you can draw in your journals. You can get yourself some pencils or some colored pencils. I didn't have that right in front of me. You can get colored pencils and draw in your journals. My little niece, she's 10. She has an art journal to draw in for plants. Yep, she follows her mama, my sister, around and does an art journal with the plants that she sees. Yes, she does. So you can do that too. You can use colored pencils. You can use regular pencils. You can buy sketching pencils and use that in your journal. I'm trying to save some of this stuff so I can remake things. But I really hope that helps you. I do. And thank you for asking those questions, because it helped me have a video to be able to try to help you answer them. Beautiful blessings to all of you. I will be back. I believe I'll be back again tomorrow with a tutorial, and that's it. If you have any questions, remember, don't hesitate to ask me, and leave me a comment below if you liked the video and it was helpful, and give me a thumbs up. And also, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. It would help me out immensely. I'm trying to get, I'm trying to get in there with more viewers and, try to be known and seen and grow, grow, grow. I'll talk to you guys soon, my crafting buddies. Thank you so much. Thank you so, so very much for supporting me. Bye. Have a good day.